Hi there, my name is Fallout, and welcome to another exciting edition of Grown Man Complains on the Internet, unshockingly America's longest-running live-action series. Today I want to talk about my current thoughts on two things in particular. One, the Master Vow raid experience as a whole, and two, Adept Raid Weapons from Vow. If you've read the title of today's video, you probably know how 90% of the video is going to go, but whatever, we're doing it anyway. Gentlemen, come here. We gotta talk, you and me. We gotta talk about hair. Boys, nobody stays young forever, and 2 out of 3 men will experience hair loss by the time they're 35. And if you stream for a living, it might be even sooner with all the hair that you might pull out. We like to have fun around here. However, Keeps is here to help. They're a subscription service that helps men keep their hair. With Keeps, you can get expert care without ever having to go to a doctor's office or pharmacy. All the plans are doctor recommended and delivered right to your door. Each treatment plan comes with a full year of unlimited messaging, so you can connect with your prescribing doctor about anything, anytime. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair that you have, Keeps has got you covered. They've got a network of expert medical advisors to support you in making your hair goals a reality. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/fallout or click the link in the video description. That is keeps.com/fallout. All right, back to the content. Okay, let's talk about thing number 1, the Master Vow raid experience. Just to give backstory for any hard PvP mains who have no idea what I'm about to babble about, or if you're new to D2 in general. A little after the Witch Queen content drop, we were given the Vow of the Disciple raid, which I actually very much enjoyed. After a bit of time goes by, as is tradition, we are given a Master difficulty version of the Vow raid. Why play Master? Great question, viewer with the same voice as me. You play Master Vow to A, experience a harder version of the raid you already know and love, and B, to get dank, elevated loot not obtainable on regular difficulty in the form of Adept Weapons. All right, now you're caught up. You know the joke in Arrested Development, dead dove do not eat? My experience with Master Vow was pretty much that joke. Going into Master Vow, my friends and I were worried that the main escalation in difficulty would only revolve around more champions, and that's pretty much what we got. Don't know what else we expected. To be fair though, I've heard in the past that Bungie has openly commented on their raid design philosophy, saying that they essentially have no plans of changing master level content by adding more or new mechanics. Therefore, me expecting Bungie to add new or more complex mechanics to the Master Vow raid when they've said that's a thing they won't do is a dumb expectation. Moving beyond that dumbness though, I think it's very fair that we at least offer up the question, is it time to maybe consider re-examining that philosophy? I get the desire of wanting the core raid to feel the same across every difficulty level. I guess you wouldn't want to maybe confuse your player base by making the Master raid feel way different than the regular mode. But Master Vow raid just wasn't it to me. Anyway, I don't want to pretend like I speak for everyone. I'm talking just for me right now. It's the meme of a dude slapping a sticky patch on the tank of leaking water. The water is PvE players wanting an extra challenge, and Bungie slapping on a patch that says champions. By the way, I am definitely not the first person at all to voice the very now tired opinion of, Jesus, enough with the champions already, but I think Master Vow really kind of exacerbated that feeling. There's a part in the acquisition encounter in Vow where if you want to complete a unique challenge and earn a guaranteed adept weapon drop, you have to kill 3 unstoppable champions all at the same time. Despite the fact that what I just described involves champions, I actually kind of enjoyed that particular challenge. Not because the enemies were champions though, but because the challenge involved timing, teamwork, and communication. Without that particular challenge, experienced teams will just fly through the encounter like they have before, albeit with slightly tougher enemies. Having to adjust your playstyle to murder ads while preventing the death of a specific enemy who you will need to stall until all of your other homies are ready to kill, yeah, that is kind of interesting. Again, you can complete the encounter without doing that. It won't auto-wipe your group, but my team intentionally wiped if we failed because we A, wanted the challenge, and more importantly, B, we wanted the adept loot. Even though it was a challenge for a loot drop, I liked the extra extra layer of complexity, mild as it was. By the way, I'm very aware that for many teams out there, Master difficulty on its own is probably more than enough of a challenge. Hell, I know plenty of people out there who are still trying to beat their first ever run of the regular Vow raid. Every player is a little bit different, but wouldn't it be interesting to at least consider adding additional mechanics to a Master raid at this point? Simply piling on champions to activities to make them harder frustrates players because it puts hard limitations on what kind of weapons and loadouts we can bring into certain activities, especially when paired together with annoying modifiers like match game. Is more champions and match game still challenging? Yeah, but to me, the most satisfying endgame victories in difficult content come from knowing my team perfectly worked together to overcome hardcore mechanics, rather than just I brought X weapon to handle X champion and Y weapon to handle Y shield. To this day, I think finally beating the exhibition encounter on day 1 Vow is going to be one of my most memorable raid moments of all time. God. Dude, well played. Granted, at the time I was tired and angry and wanted to die, but holy the unreal feeling of emotion that washed over me when my team pulled together and climbed that mountain. Again, I know Bungie has already shared their Master Raid design philosophy and will likely not change it, so a lot of this is just me pissing and moaning into the void, but hey, feels cathartic. Moving on. Why don't we talk about Adept Raid loot? If I had to wager, probably the reason most people will even step into Master Vow to begin with. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Players will do anything, no matter how grueling, no matter how painful, if the carrot dangling at the end of the stick is enticing enough. There are people out there who barely tolerate PvP and will willingly and begrudgingly round up their friends into a party chat and get their taints spanked for hours on end in trials just for a shot at getting a slightly better Shire's Wrath from going flawless, meaning in theory, even if Master Difficulty Vow isn't thrilling, despite adding 200% more champions, people will still go through it if the Adept weapon carrots are shiny enough. However, as of right now, Adept Vow raid loot, at least to me, is not worth the grind. Even though Nightfall weapons like the Adept Palindrome are clear-cut better than the regular Palindrome, and Trials Adept weapons like Shira are better than the regular Shira, Adept Vow weapons not really so much. You see, because we've already had the ability to craft every weapon from the Vow raid. The deep sight weapon frames are guaranteed at least one time per week, and because weapon crafting allows you to get literally the exact perk you want in every column, including masterwork, I feel as though I'm pretty much all set with crafted raid weapons. You know that little extra smidge in weapon stats that you get from Adept weapons? Crafting weapons also gives that little extra stat bump, so Adept Vow raid weapons can't even say that they have that over craftable ones. Really, the only thing that Adept Vow weapons have over craftable Vow weapons is that they're capable of being equipped with Adept weapon mods. Enticing to a degree, but then again, craftable Vow weapons can be made with enhanced weapon perks, whereas Adept Vow weapons can't. So we're now in this odd situation where each type of Vow raid weapon has one thing that can be held over the other. The only difference is one can be literally custom built to your exact specifications, and the other one just requires you to literally dump all your hard-earned spoils into a slot machine. Given the choice between those two options, I feel like 99% of players are gonna say fuck it and not even bother with Adept Vow weapons. And I gotta tell you, I don't really blame them. To make matters worse, in Vault of Glass, time lost weapons were tied to exact raid encounters, i.e. if I wanted to unlock the time lost Fatebringer, I know I'd have to get it from the Templar challenge. I had a clear-cut path to the type of time lost gun I wanted to acquire. But in Vow, no one Adept raid weapon is tied to any particular encounter. By completing the challenge for the Adept weapon, you're just awarded a random Adept weapon. Granted, that's not too awful, because unless your RNG is terrible, you'll eventually unlock the Adept weapon that you want, and then you'll just be able to buy it at the end of the raid with spoils. But damn, why Why add RNG into the system considering it worked really well in VOG? I don't know, man. It's just weird. Craftable Vow weapons, the way they are now, almost completely destroys the appeal of Adept Vow weapons. And let me be clear, I don't want to not be able to craft raid weapons. I love that that is the thing, and even though the crafting system was very complicated for people to figure out at launch, I love that we have it in the game right now. But there definitely needs to be some kind of extra pull for Adept Vow weapons that craftable Vow weapons just don't have. That doesn't mean they have to be better in-game performance-wise, by the way. I'm not saying that Adept Vow weapons should have clear-cut higher stat bars or anything, but they definitely need something more, because right now I sorta don't care, and I doubt many other people do either. Anyway, just one man's opinion, but I'm interested to know what you think. If you haven't touched Master Vow, is that because that's not really your type of thing to begin with? Or do you just not care about Adept Vow weapons because craftable weapons offer nearly the same shine with way less work? Are you also tired of champions? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and come swing by the Twitch channel to say hi whenever I'm live. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.